When you hear NASA scientists use descriptions like Motherlode and Bonanza, you know they've discovered something big. They have a new map of galactic real estate surveyed by the planet-hunting Kepler Space Telescope that should make every human on Earth rethink his or her place in the universe.
Today we're here to announce 715 newly verified Kepler planets. This is close to 3 times as many planets as announced from Kepler before in all the efforts.
The research team's co-leader, Jack Lissauer at NASA's Ames Research Center, says Kepler's latest discovery significantly increases the number of planets similar to Earth located outside of our solar system. Scientists call them exoplanets.
Prior to today, there were about 1,000 exoplanets known. This plot shows that they first came in one by one, a little trickle in the 1990s, and they've come in at a more and more rapid rate, such that in the past few years, we've had over 100 per year. And this plot shows that in the past few years also, the Kepler planets emphasized here in red have been making up a bigger share.
This is a big deal, says Lissauer, because in his words, each new discovery brings humanity another step closer to understanding our place in the galaxy.
We've almost doubled just today the number of planets known to humanity. 715 newly verified planets. These are all in multiple planet systems, and they're orbiting 305 different stars. It increases the total number of planets known to humanity to nearly 1,700, and indeed a majority of the planets now known to humanity are Kepler discoveries.
Most of the newly discovered planets are smaller than Neptune, which is about 4 times the size of Earth. But 4 of the planets are very close to the size of Earth and orbit their sun in the so-called habitable zone, which is far enough away from the sun where surface temperatures may be suitable for life with liquid water.
All these planets are in multi-planet systems. From the sample, 94% are smaller than Neptune. And from this sample of 715, 4 of them are new habitable zone planets. What I find really interesting about this bonanza of planets that we're seeing today is the characteristics of the systems. Most of the planets are small. We're talking a large majority of Neptune, super-Earth, and Earth-sized planets. The orbital planes are relatively flat, and the orbits themselves are circular. The multi-planets themselves are very, very valuable. They're great for demographic studies because we have a wide variety of planets that cover a wide variety of characteristics, from sub-Earth to Jupiter-sized, short periods and long periods. And many of these would not be able to be verified from other techniques such as rate of velocities.
Kepler 296f is twice the size of Earth. It orbits a star that's about half the size of our sun and only 5% as bright. Scientists do not know the physical makeup and so far have not determined if it's a gaseous planet or a water world. Until now, the process for verifying planets has been a time-consuming effort done on a planet-by-planet basis. But now the floodgates have opened up and scientists are using a new statistical technique for officially identifying planets called verification by multiplicity, which relies on the logic of probability.
Today, we're announcing a new technique where we've been able to open the bottleneck to access the mother lode and deliver to you more than 20 times as many planets as have ever been found and announced at once previously.
Kepler was best at spotting small planets with tight orbits around their stars. The spacecraft looks for the dimming of light from those stars caused when a planet passes by. The transit of the planet produces what looks like a black dot against the bright sun. Kepler had to make repeated observations of the same location in space to detect those transits. These new studies looked at only the first 2 years of Kepler's data collection. During that time, the telescope observed 150,000 stars and found planet candidates around just a few thousand of them. If they were randomly distributed around the stars, scientists say just a handful would be home to more than one planet candidate. But Kepler also observed hundreds of stars with multiple planet candidates, and it was through a careful study of that sample that the NASA team verified these newest 715 planets.
What's so important about this big data from Kepler is that Kepler has been able to showcase the diversity and types of planets present in our galaxy by discovering new classes of planets and finding numerous examples that belong to each class.
Multiple planet systems provide scientists with the best conditions for studying individual planets, how they were formed, and the configuration of their planetary neighborhood.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Engine start. 10 and liftoff of the Delta II rocket with Kepler.
Since its launch in 2009, Kepler has discovered more than 3,600 planet candidates. The mission was NASA's first to search for potentially habitable Earth-sized planets. The tally of confirmed planets now stands at 1,700. The latest discoveries will help NASA prepare for future planet hunting missions.
The reason we're seeing a lot more small sub-Neptune-sized planets is that planets that size are much more common than Jupiter size. But our detection techniques of transits are best for planets close to the stars. And therefore, if you just look at the raw numbers of planets found, and this is especially true if you just use the first few years of data, you're going to get a strong bias towards those close-in systems of planets that are a little larger than Earth.
Last year, Kepler suffered a malfunction when a component failed that controls the pointing of the telescope. NASA tried but could not fix the problem, ending the $600 million spacecraft's planet hunting mission. Scientists, however, are continuing to examine the massive amount of data accumulated by Kepler during its 4 years of operation. That work could take years and years. While the latest discovery may be a bonanza for planetary researchers, the question, are we alone, remains unanswered. Perhaps NASA's next planet hunter, the James Webb Telescope, scheduled for launch in 2018, will help find the answer and life on a world other than Earth. I'm Steve Grzanich reporting.